Hello and welcome to Connected. On this edition, we find out how Ipswich is leading the way in tourism, sport, technology and education with Mayor Paul Pisasale. ARIA award-winning singer, TV host and author Damien Leith joins us on the eve of his Queensland tour. We raise the curtain on the classic musical Singing in the Rain with the show's stars and musically the life and times of Frank Sinatra in Cabaret. It's time to keep it local and get connected. Welcome to the program. Well, my first guest is celebrating 25 years in local government, notched up an impressive 4 terms as Mayor of the City of Ipswich, and in the last 3 elections he averaged approximately 85% of the primary vote. The people seem to love him and he loves Ipswich. Mayor Paul Pisasale, how are you?
Yeah, great to be here.
It is nice to talk to you. Coming to the CBD, because I know that's a big passion and an interest of yours. There's been a lot of social media criticism over the popularity of the mall, but you're taking steps to readdress that, aren't you?
Yeah, look, over the years, from the last 25 years, I've tried to address the mall, and it's been that shortcut way, fill a couple of empty shops and then they'd empty. And I knew it needed a total revamp. So we took the brave steps. Nobody wanted the CBD. We purchased it on behalf of the city, and things are now being done on a proper business plan, and what you're going to see is one of the best CBDs, not only in the country but in the world.
And you're injecting quite a sizable amount of money into it, aren't you?
Yeah, we're doing partnerships, we're doing the business plan. At the moment we've got all these pop-ups where we want to hear from the community about what the water feature is going to look like, what they want their CBD. You know, I don't want another Woolworths and Coles shopping centre. Whilst they're welcome, the CBD's got to be a destination. It's got to embrace the river, it's got to have restaurants, it's got to have entertainment, there's got to be a place that people enjoy, and what we've got planned is going to be exciting.
How much consultation do you do with the residents of Ipswich in relation to things like this?
Yeah, like, I love talking to the people of Ipswich, and I do it on a daily basis through my social media by getting out to chat times and a lot of those. But you still get those warriors on Facebook. There's a small percentage of them. If you start listening to them, you'd go ballistic.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I'm one of these politicians that like listening to the 90% of positive people, and the other 10% can keep to their own views on social media.
Yeah. When you look at it, I mean, Ipswich has got the unique problem of the old and the new. Yeah. Trying to blend the two, it must be a difficult task.
Yeah, it was, until I realised that the old is the new. And, you know, our proud past is going to be an exciting future. And so what we've done is some of the sins of the past where people have neglected our heritage, our culture, our arts, that's all going to be addressed in the new CBD. It's going to have a heart and soul, and it's going to be a destination place. We're going to embrace our river. You can see the Bradfield Bridge, that already connects. So from Riverlink to the CBD is Myers to David Jones in Brisbane. So people will be able to walk around there, be a destination for families. And I just think that it's going to be exciting, and I just can't wait to experience it myself.
Having just moved from Brisbane and now a resident of Ipswich
myself.
Well,
congratulations.
Thank you very much. But what I've noticed is that you were talking about it before, about loving talking to the people. I've never seen a mayor so entrenched in the suburbs and in events and festivals going on around town.
Look, I just love it. Look, you're not there for the money. You're not there because you got a title or a position. You know, it's a 7-day-a-week job. You don't get holidays, but I can tell you, it's the most rewarding job when you see our kids getting jobs. Our age demographics, for example, the state average is 37. We're 32. We're a young city now. Our kids are coming home to invest in their own city. So it doesn't get any better than that. And there was never anything wrong with Ipswich. What it really lacked is strong leadership. And when I walk around town, when the kids come up and say, "G'day, Mayor Paul," then I know of one, because when I was a kid, I didn't know who the mayor was.
Yeah.
So I want them to know that I'm there to support them. I'm not there to be a leader. I'm there to be a person of the people and understand what the issues are. And every day they're different.
It's got such a rapid growth. I mean, just not far from USQ where we're here now, the new Aveo establishment being put together. We're seeing the Mater Hospital here in Springwood.
Dusitani.
Isn't it just amazing to see the growth as it expands further and further?
Well, I'm going down to the local government association today with all the different local governments of of Queensland. I just love giving it to them. They just cannot believe that a place like Ipswich is now progressing. It's got leading the way in technology, leading the way in growth, leading the way in our young people, our crime prevention. And all we're doing is working with the people, taking the ideas and making them a reality.
And one thing I noticed too is the entrepreneur encouragement that you give, especially with Fire Station 101, which we did a story on last season. Those are great initiatives to really encourage young people to get out there and give it a go.
Yeah, you have to. You've got to make sure that we're a city that where no person's going to be left behind and no community's going to be left behind. And I'm just amazed. I'm just the mayor of Ipswich, but I just come back from China where I was a guest speaker. They paid for it. Come back from Taiwan, Columbus, Ohio, Toronto. Everybody wants to hear the Ipswich story. And so, you know, that I just love it. I love telling the story, but it's a story about people. It's a story about taking direction, and each and every one of us should be very proud because we all wear the pride pin, we all say what we want to be, and now new people feel part of the city, and once the Ipswich bug bites you, you're stuck in.
We've talked a lot about the mayor, the man behind the mayoral position. I mean, how do you cope with, you know, the naysayers, the people that are giving the critical comments?
Yeah, look, it's hurtful. You know, you get to the stage. I've got a great, you know, team behind me. I've got Ben and Alan. You know, my staff and my office actually runs better when I'm not there, so I'm better off being out promoting the city. But you know, it's that support you get, especially when I went through that whole inquiry where people were asking me, why do I help the community? Why do I help businesses make profit? I always thought it was a common sense approach, and I've always been there for the people. But I can tell you, there's a strong band of people out there that on a daily basis give me that encouragement. And every day when I get bumped into someone, they say, thank you for what you're doing. That's enough to keep me going.
So it's the little things that keeps Paul Pisasale going.
Well, it's not the money, I can tell you.
Mate, big plans ahead for the city. People should watch this space.
Yeah, I think so. Look, what we're doing is we've looked at models and examples all around the world, and what we want to do now is adapt that to fit our own purposes. I listen to people. People want their kids to have a future. People want their children to feel proud about their city. And we want our Ipswich people to go all around the world, you know, working. I've got my own daughter. She's just come back from New York, and I don't think she would ever come back to Ipswich. But she's back. She loves it and starting her own business. I'm really proud of that. But that's happening to all our young people.
Yeah. Well, we're proud to have you as the mayor. Thank you so much for joining us, mate.
No, it's great to be here. And look, I'm only a phone call or an email away.
Done. I'll look that up. You can soak up the heritage and the events and parks and gardens of Queensland's oldest provincial city. Visit ipswich.qld.gov.au. Still to come, the cast of Singing in the Rain, a cabaret tribute to Frank Sinatra. Thank you very much, Mayor. And Damien Leith on the eve of the Queensland tour. Stay with us. It's a very musical connected. And welcome back to the program. Well, this year, Australian singer Damien Leith celebrates a decade in the music industry. It's certainly hard to believe that it was 10 years ago he stepped onto the stage and into our lounge rooms through the TV show Australian Idol. Well, to celebrate this milestone, Damien is currently undertaking a massive intimate acoustic tour that has him performing across Australia. He's living the dream with the Winner's Journey 10th anniversary tour, and Damien now joins us on Connected. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. Yeah, I'm back from another weekend of great shows, so it's feeling good.
Mate, 10 years, it's a long step in the music business, and also a tough job to keep in the business for that long.
Yeah, look, it is a crazy business. Anyone who's a musician, well, actually anyone in the arts in general, probably knows that you do it because you're passionate about it and because you love it. And, it's an up and down business. But thankfully for me, 10 years later, I'm getting to do the one thing I always wanted to do. So I'm a pretty happy guy.
Would you say Australian Idol was instrumental in kickstarting the career for you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt. You know, I was working as a chemist when I went on Idol. I had been singing for years. I was always singing. I was always performing. But when Idol came along, it was just at the right time, and it just gave me the boost and opened the right doors, you know, at just the right time.
It seems that many of the initial winners of Idol and runner-ups have certainly been able to stay in there a lot longer than some of the more recent ones.
You know, it's a funny thing. Like the industry is a weird place. Like the music industry is a strange place, and you know, a lot of things kind of play together to try and, you know, keep it flowing for you. I mean, for definitely in the early years, you know, for me anyway, you know, I found what's really helped me over the last couple of years is constantly looking ahead. I'm always kind of planning what's happening next, not just what's happening right now. And I think that's really helped me personally out an awful lot. You know, as far as other people who had their, you know, tough times and yeah, I mean, look, it's an unpredictable business anyway, and it just is. And even if it wasn't Australian Idol, if you went through the traditional route of A&R and getting signed, there's still no guarantees about how it's all going to work out. You just you got to just keep on working and hope it all pans out the way you want it to pan out.
Well, we're going to be able to relive the last 10 years with you on the stage. I'm sure you're going to be singing a vast repertoire of those 10 years in song.
Yeah, well, there's been 8 albums in the last 10 years. So I've recorded 8 albums, and so far the tour's been fantastic because I've been looking for requests from the audience. I have about 60% of the show ready to go. So I know there's a whole bunch of songs that people want to hear. Songs from The Winner's Journey 10 years ago, you know, songs that I did on Idol. Irish songs, Roy Orbison. So there's all of that already in a kind of a set list. But the other 40% is over to the audience, and it's been great because they're picking songs that you know, some of them I haven't expected them to pick. Some songs are, you know, I've loved playing them again. You know, it's been many years since I played some of these songs. So it's a lot of fun. It's great. It's a very interactive show. The audience are as much involved in it as I am.
That's awesome. I mean, because apart from your music career, you've had success too as an author. I mean, you name it, you've really thrown your heart and soul into pretty much anything.
Oh, look, I've always loved writing, you know, and it's funny, when I went on Australian Idol, I had already written my first novel at that stage. Writing was one of my main passions growing up. And, you know, since then, I've just finished my 3rd novel. It's a kid's novel, so it's kind of a departure in a way, but you know, it's something that started out as a bedtime story for my own kids, and it's gone from there. And yeah, I'm pretty excited by it. It's nice to try something else, and kids literature is great because you can you know, you can create amazing worlds and amazing scenes, and it's all fantastic, and you know, it's a lot of fun.
And there's certainly an honest audience, which I know many of your fans are. Mates, over the 10 years, what's been the career highlight for you?
You know, there has been an awful lot, but I have to say, one that just kind of comes to mind straight off is, you know, when I worked on the Roy Orbison album, the whole idea of that album was to create new versions of Roy Orbison's songs, not to impersonate him or copy him or anything like that. And as a result of that album, I've been working with a guy called Joe Melson, and Joe wrote Crying, Only the Lonely, Blue Bayou. He wrote all those songs with Roy Orbison. So getting to work with him, that's a career highlight for me. Absolutely. I work with him almost every week via Skype, and it's just amazing. It's like working with a musical hero, really.
Well, we're looking forward to being in the audience and watching you perform as part of this 10th anniversary tour. Mate, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Great song from Damien Leith, and for his Queensland dates, visit damienleith.com.au. A break, and then the cast of Singing in the Rain take us behind the scenes and a cabaret tribute to Frank Sinatra. You're being connected. Well, the splash hit musical Singing in the Rain has been getting torrential applause and acclaim here in Queensland, so we send our cameras behind the scenes of this multi-million-dollar musical.
All I do is dream of you the whole night through.
Based on the iconic 1952 MGM movie of the same name, starring Gene Kelly, Donald O'Connor and Debbie Reynolds, the musical is packed full of the charm, romance, comedy and Tinseltown glamour of the much-loved movie. Nominated for 3 Helpman Award nominations, the production has assembled an impressive cast, including Grant Almirall and Rowan Brown, who share the lead role of leading man Don Lockwood.
It's great. I mean, it's a relief. It is a huge undertaking to do this role. It's, you know, we liken it to a marathon. So to run a marathon 8 times a week is just near impossible. To continue that over months and months and a touring schedule. So to have both Grant and I doing this role means that we can actually give it our all every single performance for the 4 shows that we have each week, and the audience is getting a wonderful, you know, at full throttle performance.
Just like in the movie, the show features all the songs from the glorious MGM score, including Make 'Em Laugh, Moses Supposes, Singing in the Rain, and the feel-good song Good Morning.
Listen, if we can pull this off, this day will go down in history for me. March 23rd.
No. Your historic day is not the 23rd, it's the 24th.
What do you mean the 24th?
It's 2:30 already. It's morning.
Yes, and what a lovely morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
We've talked the whole night through.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
Set in 1927, it tells the story of the first Hollywood musical, when the silver screen found its voice and left silent movies and some of its stars behind. Don Lockwood is a silent movie star with everything he could want: fame, adulation, and a well-publicized romance with his co-star, Lena Lamont. But Lena has a voice that could clear a theatre in seconds, and so the plot to dub her voice in begins.
Lena Lamont is one part of Tinseltown's power couple, Don Lockwood and Lena Lamont. She's a fame-hungry, narcissistic, delusional actress who she's beautiful, but she doesn't really have the voice to match.
Yes, and do we get a sample of that voice?
You're gonna have to come tonight to hear that. Oh my God! Gotta be careful not to talk too much over the other interviews I was going to, but I won't.
Now let's talk about the wardrobe. Fabulous wardrobe. It must be nice to glamour.
I think it is nice to have just a casual day look going on. This is what I eat my breakfast in.
To achieve the famous Singing in the Rain scene, the production uses over 800 metres of flexible pipework, a 9,000 kilo water tank, and a water system that creates a downpour from above, as well as flooding from below the stage, in total raining over 12,000 litres of recycled water per performance.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. In the role of Don's sidekick Cosmo Brown is the dynamic Jack Chambers, who earned a Helpman nomination as Best Supporting Male in a Musical. Of course, many remember Donald O'Connor in the role, including Jack, who takes the added pressure in his stride.
Absolutely, there's a lot of pressure to follow in his footsteps, but I have a lot of fun, to be honest with you. And I haven't tried to copy Donald O'Connor. I mean, I know the movie very, very well. I saw it as a kid, and but ever since I got the role, I've purposely not looked back at the film to try and bring my own essence to the role, and that's what I've tried to accomplish, and so far it seems to be working. So
Well, of course, I mean, the role as he did it, and no doubt you'll do it, is a very energetic role. I mean, lots of dancing. It must kill you doing the show 8 times a week.
it's very physical, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's exhausting, but it's such a fun show that, and I keep repeating myself and talking about how joyful the show is, but it just really is. The music, like if I'm walking in on one of my off days and I'm just feeling exhausted, as soon as the orchestra plays and as soon as I'm in costume, you just get this hidden energy that just takes over you, and you can do what you do. But we've also got to be really careful, and we make sure we're definitely warming up properly and cooling down and looking after our bodies so that we can do it 8 times.
spectacular. Singing in the Rain closes this weekend, so don't miss out on getting tickets. Visit qpac.com.au or call 136 246. Now from a similar vintage, a show that through multimedia and live performance showcases the life story of Frank Sinatra. It stars Lachlan Wallace as Old Blue Eyes, and with the title track from the cabaret, please welcome him with Once in My Life.
For once in my life, I've got someone who needs me, someone I've needed so long. For once unafraid, I can go where life leads me, and somehow I know I'll be strong. For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of, long before I knew someone warm like you could make my dreams come true. For once in my life, I won't let sorrow hurt me, not like it's hurt me before. For once I can go where my heart won't desert me, and I'm not alone anymore. For once I can say, this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I got love, I know I can make it. For once in my life, I've got someone who needs me. For once in my life, I've got someone who needs me, someone I've needed so long. For once, unafraid, I can go where life leads me, and somehow I know I'll be strong. For once I can say, this is mine, you can't take it. Long as I've got love, I know I can make it. For once in my life, I found someone. For once in my life, I got someone. For once in my life, I got someone who needs me.
Fantastic. Well, that just about wraps up this edition of Connected. Make sure you check out the latest guest info and special online segments on our website, connectedtv.com.au, and interact with the show on our Facebook page. Until next time, stay connected and bye for now.